Hi everyone, my name is Diego Alfonso and I'm one of your hosts with the Florida Aviation Network. We are broadcasting live and in the clear from the Aerospace Discovery section at the Florida Air Museum located on the grounds of the Sun and Fun Complex at Lakeland, Florida. We're celebrating the 41st annual Sun and Fun Fly-In and Exposition. Our guest today is the Executive Director of the Aerospace Center for Excellence, located here at Sun and Fun in Lakeland. The Aerospace Center for Excellence is responsible for year-round educational programs involving people of all ages. And in order to find out more about what this is all about, we're going to present you with Mr. Robb Williams. Robb, it's a pleasure to have you here in the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Diego.
Robb, I think that a lot of people know about Sun and Fun, a lot of people know about Lakeland, and a lot of people know about the Aerospace Center for Excellence. But why don't you describe for us what that really is?
Sure, I'd be
What does that entail?
I'd be happy to. Well, Sun and Fun, as you may know, is the largest convention in the state of Florida, and it's actually a fundraiser for the year-round educational programs that happen at the Aerospace Center for Excellence on the Sun and Fun Convention campus. It's 8 buildings that make up the Aerospace Center for Excellence. One of those buildings happens to be, we're sitting in right now, which is Aerospace Discovery at the Florida Air Museum, which is also the official aviation and education museum of the state of Florida. I'm very proud of that distinction. So August 23rd of 2014, the decision was made to go from a museum to more of a museum and an inclusive educational environment, highlighting hands-on learning activities, focusing on STEM curriculum. Since that time, we have had memberships increase 4 times. We're averaging over 1,000 guests a month from all countries all over the world. So that's one of the buildings here that we're very proud of. Next door is the Aerospace Pavilion, where on Friday we're going to have 1,000 kids in there, students, listening to the Thunderbirds talk about careers and future education. We have the Tom Davis and Piedmont buildings, where many of our volunteers have volunteer meals throughout the week. We rely heavily on a volunteer staff to make Sun and Fun and our year-round programs happen. And they happen to cook their meals down there. It's a great camaraderie and fellowship to get together. And then it transforms into dorms for our summer camp. So our summer camp right now was still taking registrations. Every year it fills to capacity with the help of John Iskra, running our education programs here as well as in the schools. In addition to that, we have the Crossfield Aerospace Center behind us. We're at Crossfield. We are home to Carlisle Cars, Civil Air Patrol, and Travis Technical Centers. They use as an extension of the Travis Career Center, come across, and they're able to earn their A&P certificates right here on our grounds. The Bueller Aerospace Restoration Skills Center was built with a generous grant from the Neil Bueller Trust. The restoration projects happen in there, the Navy Sea Dart, the Vertical Riser, and are restored by our volunteer staff, as well as the Lakeland Aero Club. Our high school flying club has restored a Piper Cub that they're going to be flying this Thursday in the Education Showcase, which I'll talk about momentarily. And we have some newer additions to our Aerospace Center for Excellence family. So Thursday was going to be the dedication of the Piedmont Aerospace Experience. So some of you might have seen this Boeing 727 on our campus.
Saw it outside.
Right, it used to be painted in FedEx colors. Now, through a donation from the Tom Davis family and other donors, along with the Neil Bueller Trust, it's turned into a Piedmont paint job, reminiscent of the old 727 days with the Speedbird logo on the side. It'll be a one-of-a-kind addition to our campus. Nowhere else on a high school campus do they have a fully functioning Boeing 727 they're going to be having classes in. So 2 students here, which I'll talk about momentarily, Fiona and Clayton, could finish their 3rd period class and then go to 4th period inside the 727. No place else can say that.
So the classroom is built in the airplane?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Right at the emergency exits, we're going to split it in half, and the front half is going to be a classroom where they're going to learn all the power-up procedures on how to turn on this aircraft, the systems knowledge behind it, and then be able to one day, under qualified supervision from our volunteers and other local qualified pilots, be able to start that aircraft. And the back half of it would be the Neil Bueller Conference Center. So it's a fully functioning aircraft out there, happy to have that here. And 2 additional buildings that came on is the Aerospace Opportunity Center, which Sun and Fun and the Florida Air Museum are both not-for-profits. And all the money we take goes back into education. Some of that money is given out in scholarships. And the Aerospace Opportunity Center is in charge of those scholarships. And 1 week ago, we added on the Florida Aerospace Historical Annex, along with our friends from Albert Whitehead Preservation Society, the airport folks. National Airlines Museum and a museum to the flight of the Benoit at the St. Peter Tampa Airboat Lines there. So we have a lot happening here, and then there's a lot of educational programs happening year-round outside of the fly-in.
Correct.
And I can talk about what happens to highlight education during the fly-in. So during the fly-in, we have Project Stratus, which two of our students are here. I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves to you. It's Fiona Brookfield and Clayton McHugh. So go ahead and guys, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Fiona, like he said. I'm a junior in high school and I'm looking to get into aviation. So this is a really fun experience and I'm really excited for this week.
My name's Clayton McHugh and I'm actually a private pilot over here at CFAA. And this is a great week for me because I get to see different kinds of planes and get to meet pilots.
So what we've done with this is Project Stratus is the second year we've ran Project Stratus. The first year we opened it up only to Central Florida Aerospace Academy students, which does, by the way, have a 100% graduation at that high school, which is part of the Aerospace Center for Excellence. Wow. So this year we opened up to all of Polk County juniors. Through a thorough screening process and an essay contest, we managed to select 10 of the best and brightest to come to that. Now, all at varying levels of their aviation careers. Fiona, for instance, is looking at getting into aviation, trying to figure out what it's all about and how she can fit into it. Clayton has taken his private pilot's exam and is working at one of our local FBOs around here. So there's also many other levels here. They're looking at engineering, A&P students. They are going to have a JetBlue charter flight. They're all going to be here at 6:30 tomorrow to be on, right, guys? They're going to go from Orlando to Lakeland to land here. They're going to take part in the Red Tails experience, our Dinner with Legends, a meet and greet with the Thunderbirds and the Breitling Jet Team. And as you can see around their necks, they both have Nikon cameras that have been provided by our sponsorship with Nikon. So really happy about that. That's one of the outreach programs, and the Dinner with Legends that happens on Thursday also all benefits the educational program. Now we're very fortunate with our partnership with the Florida Aviation Historical Society to have the Hall of Fame inductions to the Florida Aviation Hall of Fame. So we did two classes this year, the class of 2014 and the class of 2015 as well. So the class of 2014 was Betty Skelton, Curtis Pitts, and Dick Merrill. The class of 2015 was Merrill Hemingway, as well as Billy Henderson and Scrappy Johnson. And Billy Henderson, we had a big following here, making the Sun and Fun Convention what
I know
it is
Billy
today.
for many years now.
Oh yeah, and Billy actually works out with you guys.
Yeah.
And we're so happy our partnership that we have here with the Florida Aviation Network. We're so thrilled at that. Then Wednesday, of course, is the charter flight for these guys. And something we're very proud of, right here in the museum for our second year, we're hosting a career fair. So it's in partnership with jsfirm.com. We have 15 companies and over 500 career seekers converging on the Sun and Fun Convention campus during our flight.
Actually, I'm interviewing him.
Oh, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been wonderful what they do. So the picture we're trying to paint here is you can come to a summer camp in middle school. You can go to high school at CFA. You can go literally a mile away to Polk State College that offers the only bachelor's degree in aerospace from a public institution in the state of Florida. Then you come right back here and you can get employed, all within a 1 mile radius. It can all happen at the Aerospace Center for Excellence on the Sun and Fun Convention campus.
That's amazing. Now, when was this idea implemented? I mean, when was the first time that this came into
The career fair?
Yeah.
Last year. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened is I'm a retired 121 pilot myself. And I know I can relate to what it's like to be furloughed. Like I'm sure we all can in the world of aviation. We've all been furloughed. If you haven't been furloughed once, you haven't been a pilot. But so it's difficult to find a job out there, and I always relied on jsfirm.com to help me out with my career seeking. So when it came time, and I said, I know at least 10 of my guys that are on the streets right now looking for work. What can I do to help the pilot community out there? Well, a lot of these places charge you $150, $200 to go to career fairs. And you show up there, you dress, and you maybe meet a recruiter, maybe you don't, and then you leave. Well, here, I'm like, how can I give back to our pilot community out here? Not just pilots, A&P mechanics, engineers, flight operations professionals. I'll tell you what, why don't you come to the greatest air show in the world and try to get yourself a career, and if that doesn't work out for you, you can go out and see an air show afterwards. Because everybody here loves airplanes. So what better way to marry the two together?
Exactly.
So that happened last year, the success was overwhelming, and we said, let's do it again this year.
Because I remember last year there was a whole bunch of, I think it was here in this.
Yes, sir, right here.
Yeah, right here in this room. There was I remember JetBlue being here.
Yep.
And so that's a great opportunity for our pilot population, especially with the ones that are looking to work.
Sure,
That is a great thing. Now, I would like to take a moment, though, to kind of talk to your student right here. What I guess my question is, what made you think, at what point in your life you decided that this is what you wanted to do? Can you go back on that?
Well, I've always known Rob. He's been like a family friend since like I was born. So just like hearing his experiences about it and how he always told us about like, oh, I'm flying this weekend, and we were just like, oh, like that's really cool. And so like ever since then, I've been like super interested in it, and I just wanted to do that because it sounded awesome.
And your goal, your definite goal would be to become what?
A commercial pilot probably.
Cool, cool. You mean airline or?
Yeah, yeah.
Airline pilot. Yeah, that my son is also an airline pilot with United.
Awesome.
He's a first officer in the 7-3. So he's been there for a while. And how about you? Let me ask you the same question. What made you, when was the first time you said, that's something that I would like to do?
My first time was actually, I was in the cockpit of a 747 coming back from London, England. And so I was always wanted to know what made an airplane fly. And so I just kind of kept on going with that passion of what are the function of flights, what do the controls do, that kind of thing. And so the James C. Ray Scholarship helped me get that first step up into the aviation community.
Now, I heard Rob say that you got your private pilot, or?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you did? Congratulations. When was this? Recent?
December 6th.
Oh my God. That, you'll never forget that.
No.
That's a day you'll never forget. I remember that too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't remember very well.
I still remember the weather. It's perfectly clear, sunny, and no clouds.
And no wind.
Yeah.
And you know, that can work against you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because the level of difficulty goes to 0.
Yep.
So now you got to be good. You can't blame it on the wind. Or
And Clayton mentioned something, the James C. Ray Scholarship, and that's what we give back. We give back over $400,000 annually in scholarships. One of those scholarships is the James Ray Scholarship, which Clayton's been fortunate enough to have. We also have the Florida Air Museum Scholarship and the Top Gun Scholarship. So we're helping to create the future aviators. Folks like you and me, we're getting older, we're getting out of the cockpit. We need this next generation to come in here to help take our places.
we got to keep.
Not too soon.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, we got to keep the young people interested in aviation. And there's a lot of institutions that do that. And this is just an unbelievable way. When I really learned the role of the CFA and the ACE, as we call it for short, right?
Right,
The
yes,
Aerospace
ACE,
Center of
yes, sir.
Excellence. But now let me ask you a more in detail question. Let's say that my son wants to be part of this,
Okay.
be part of your program. What are the requirements? What are the requirements in order to be able to come here and either get a scholarship or get into the process?
Well, the Florida Air Museum and Aerospace Center for Excellence are open to anybody. You can come year-round on our website, www.sun-in-fun.org. You can check out the year-round educational activities that happen, whether it's Wings and Things, and Lockheed, an international design competition. We are open to spectators, summer camps, those are all there. As far as CFAA is an academy school through Polk County, and so they have different requirements that are on there. They can be found on our website through our educational partners at www.sun-in-fun.org. So it's open, I believe, mostly Polk County students, and it's an application process through an academy system that happens.
Okay, and there's it's like an elimination process too, I guess. Where the individual you have to meet certain.
Yes, sir,
requirements.
absolutely. You have to. That's how they maintain their 100% graduation requirement right now. It's a very rigorous school, very rewarding school, all at the same time. But just like with being an airline pilot or being in an aviation profession, there's not room for error. So it's great they learn it at this young age, to what their standards are and how to become that next generation.
Now, if I heard you correctly, you said that you also have a mechanics program.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a mechanic too.
Right, yeah.
That's how I got started.
Right.
In the business. Can you fill us in?
Sure,
that
We
part
have,
of the program?
we have an A&P program through CFA, through dual enrollment with Travis Career Center. So students can come and take their classes at CFAA. And there's also an adult program through Travis Career Center that happens over in the Crossfield Aerospace Center. So at Travis Career Center, they offer all the information about how to enroll in that program. But you graduate with everything you need minus the practical hours to complete your A&P certificate.
Right.
And not only is A&P, you probably know this, is for pilots, Disney has all their ride technicians be A&P certified.
Yep.
So the sky's the limit for somebody holding an A&P certificate.
Sure. Well, in my days, if you held an A&P certificate, you were almost guaranteed a pilot position.
Right.
Because back in the day, when the business airplanes started to come into the scene, the DC-3s and World War II converted bombers, you know, to business airplanes. They always wanted a co-pilot to be a mechanic. Sometimes the co-pilot make more money than the captain.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had a double. Yeah, because you know you break down somewhere and at least you can try to get the plane going. So that was definitely a plus for you. Now in my notes, what I got here is you have 8 buildings.
Yes, sir.
And this particular building here also pertains to the Aerospace Center
Oh, yeah.
of
Yes,
Excellence.
sir. Absolutely.
And this is the Florida Air Museum. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
this?
this is Aerospace Discovery at the Florida Air Museum, and this is the official aviation and education museum of the state of Florida. And August 23rd is when we started our hands-on interactive environment. We're actually averaging over 1,000 members a month here. We're part of the ASTC Passport program, so by being a member of the Florida Air Museum, it grants you reciprocal memberships into other museums across the country. We also have classes coming here, so students from CFA have come in here, Polk State have utilized it. We have a one-of-a-kind exhibit back here called Innovations in Propulsion. One of our volunteers spearheaded the charge on that to get an engine. In fact, the J31 engine over there, he brought down from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oh my God.
In his car all by himself, and they restored it with our friends over at Travis Career Center. They actually did all the restoring on that engine over there.
That is an impressive.
So, I mean, you've
thing.
got the engine that helped in World War II, you've got one of the starting engines out there, and you've got the future, you've got hypersonic. I mean, we have 15 engines you're never going to find under one roof anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of them are just one of a kind.
Absolutely. And a one-of-a-kind aircraft up here as well. And the Florida Air Museum, Aerospace Discovery at the Florida Air Museum is a not-for-profit, as well as Sun and Fun. So I want everybody out there to remember that what you're coming to this week helps support the future of education here in the state of Florida and throughout the world. This is our future generation that we're giving back to, not only in Polk County, but nationwide. So thank you for everybody coming out here and supporting our educational program.
And it's definitely a function of love for aviation. What you can breathe around here, you know, everywhere you go, everybody has that same attitude.
Yeah.
It's like aviation is our thing, and the promotion of aviation and aviation safety and the betterment of our airmen, it's part of the core of the thing.
And that's the thing is, although we are helping with bringing qualified pilots and A&P professionals, it helps them in the regular business in the world also. Sure. I've been there before. You have a resume, like I've taken people safely all around the world, and I can help run your company, I can help assist in this. Well, it develops, what I want every business speaker out there to know is it helps bring a better citizen out there, and self-confidence, self-awareness. These young men and women to be able to plan a cross-country flight from Lakeland to Tallahassee like Clayton does by himself, land the airplane safely, make good aeronautical decisions by himself where he needs to divert in case of weather. Those are all qualities you want in an employee. So that's something that we, beyond the cockpit, we provide.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I really believe that is done out of love. I mean, it's just done out of, this is the right thing to do, and this is how we're going to do it. Now, I was looking also at the CFA, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. Tell me a little bit more specific about that.
Yeah, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy is part of the ACE, the Aerospace Center for Excellence. It's a Polk County charter school, academy school, and actually they just went through a certification process. They're one of 5 schools in the nation who's going to receive a national board certification for academies. Very rigorous process they went through. We are proud to be a part of that and proud to help them along with that achievement. They should find out in the next 3 weeks or so if they obtain that status, but I have no doubt with our partnerships, the wonderful staff over there and the incredible students, they will achieve that status over there. And then also, not only is CFA across the way there, but we also do have Polk State and Travis Career Center both. And Polk State, as I mentioned, only public institution in the state of Florida you can get a bachelor's degree in aerospace right down the way here. So I mean, it's all happening in Polk County, all happening within a 1-mile radius of the Aerospace Center for Excellence.
Yeah, I'm really familiar with the how can I say, the connection between CFA and Polk County College. And actually, Eric Crump is going to be here today, and I'm going to be interviewing him. You know, he's a good friend, and he's also heavily involved, just like you guys, in the process. Now, there's another building that is called, and I hope I have my notes right, the Bueller Aerospace Restoration Skills Center.
Yep, the Bueller Aerospace Skills Center. That's actually where our qualified volunteer staff restored the iconic Sea Dart, one of only 4 out there, the vertical riser, one of only 2. It's a great pride and care in restoring that. You have a Pitts hanging up in this museum here. They helped with the restoration of that. And our Lakeland Aero Club, our high school flying club, helped restore a J3 Cub that's going to be flying in our Educational Day showcase, which I mentioned earlier we're going to get back around to. So I have 15 colleges and high schools, which Lakeland Aero Club is one of them, going to be participating in our showcase flyover on Thursday, on Education Day. So we've got the National Intercollegiate Flying Association, NIFA.Aero. They're going to be here with Embry-Riddle, Auburn, FIT, and we're going to have Polk State Aviators,
the big
Jacksonville.
ones.
They're all here. They're all coming, and they're going to showcase what the future of the aviators are doing out there.
Okay.
So,
And I'll tell you, I'm such a believer in the future of aviation because I was fortunate enough. Aviation is here to stay. I mean, it has those ups and downs and all that, but it's here to stay. And I really encourage everybody that has any desire to become a pilot or a mechanic or anything that is affiliated with aviation to continue that dream, because it's going to happen. I mean, people are not going to ride the railroad anymore unless they have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it goes. I was fortunate enough back in 2005, I was able to, I went to Nigeria. And I went to teach at a college over there called Nigerian College of Aeronautical Technologies.
Wow.
Now this thing is 480 kilometers north of the capital, which was Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, in the middle, basically nowhere. And they had Part 135 operations over there. I mean, you think it's so remote, and there's an airport, and there is a way from you to go from there to the rest of the world. You can go from that place to the capital, or Lagos, which is all the way down there. By train, it'll take you 18 hours. You go by bus, it's like 26. And in an airplane, it's an hour and 45 minutes.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way it is. So aviation is here to stay, and they should feel that way too, that all these sacrifices that you're going through and all these sometimes frustrations, you know, you have to get up, you know, and keep on moving.
Well, and now you mentioned how aviation's changed over the years, changed the face. A big thing that's coming out now are UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. And we were very fortunate to host an international competition on our campus like this March. We had 75 colleges from 9 countries, 800 future engineers converge on our campus to show their unmanned aerial vehicles they made in their collegiate programs. So these are students who are just 3 years older than the guy sitting next to me right now, developing and designing these UAVs. And that is the future of technology. And it's out here, and there's going to be talking about it during Sun and Fun this week. And we're looking at developing some of those programs coming up into the future.
Yep. I remember when the UAV came up first on the scene, it was something like, you know, Star Wars kind of thing. You know,
Right.
that's the imagination that will never happen. And here we are. You know, we have UAVs now all around us.
And in the Air Museum here, we have 2 of them hanging up from 2 of our teams. One from
And the
Canada.
FAA is very busy.
They are, I bet. Yes, they are. Yes,
Because
they
they
are.
got to get those things under control. Now, I want to ask you a question because I'm a former pilot examiner. Okay, I'm that guy. And what I like to ask you is, during the check ride, do you have any war stories during the check ride? In other words, what was something that really got your attention, so to speak?
Well, I had to break altitude, but it was for good reasons, because there was a flock of birds coming.
Right.
And so I forgot to tell the examiner that was climbing to go over the birds.
Right.
And so he almost checked me off for breaking the altitude. And I'm like, if you turn around, you can see birds flying right by us. But besides that, it was a very easy check ride.
Yeah.
He told me to divert to Kissimmee. I did the VOR to and from.
Cool.
And
Most of the students, they can't sleep the night before. Me included, you know, when I was coming up. Because remember, you're going to face this guy who's got the power to say, you're not going to belong to this club.
well, that was actually that was my first check ride, but my second scheduling, because the first time before, I was supposed to fly to Crystal River to go meet my examiner, and all it was straight fog there, and so I didn't feel safe. So I had to wait another 3 weeks
There you go.
for weather. And then on that day when I went, It was perfectly calm and clear. I said, I'm thankful that I waited to this day kind of thing, because I want to feel safe with flying underneath 1,000 feet in fog.
Remember this, you don't have to be anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
That-
Somebody else may, but you don't have to be anywhere. And that's how you get your hair to be this color in this business.
See, those are the good decision-making skills that no other high school student has the ability to say, except for the students that go to Central
Exactly.
Florida Aerospace Academy. It's so unique in that. I mean, where else can you interview somebody that's 17 years old and say, oh, well, I didn't fly this day because I felt X, Y, and Z didn't add up perfectly. That's going to be a young man or young woman that's going to grow up to be the future CEO of a company.
Exactly.
Developing those decision-making skills now.
I think that the discipline that comes from learning how to fly is unmatched. I mean, I was not a wild person when I was young, but I was not a saint either, you know. But when I started flying, my whole life changed. I'm one of those. I'm one of those that I'm chicken. You know, I mean, I don't want to prove anything. I just want to do things. When I started mechanic school, not mechanic school, I started as an apprentice. And the shop foreman said to me, listen, you and I are going to get along pretty good. I can sense that. But if you really want to make sure that you and I get along pretty good, you're going to have to do one thing for me. And I said, yeah, what is that? He says, never do anything new by yourself.
There you go. That's right.
If I say to you, Diego, go ahead to that money over there and pull the starter off, and you have never done that, you have to tell me.
That's right.
You have to say, hey, Tom, I've never done that. Then I'll show you to do it. And what happens, I was young at the time, and that I carry with me throughout my flying career. And that's what I've done. Never do anything new by yourself. Resist that temptation, because it's really, really a bad thing.
That's right. That's right.
So now, what is the future? What is I just want to get it right. The ACE.
Aerospace Center for
Yes.
Excellence. Well, the future is limitless for us right now. We're very proud. We're looking at developing our
I
scholarship.
love that. I really like that.
It's the truth.
Yes.
I mean, I've been here a year and a half now, and the sky's the limit for what we can achieve here. We're looking at developing programs with unmanned aerial vehicles in the future, and developing our Project Stratus outreach into the following counties, developing the new generation of pilots, looking at expanding our engineering focus out here. I mean, it's not as simple as playing a game of Murder in the Dark, but we have a direction we're going to, and we know what we're doing.
That's good. Rob and your fellow students, we're glad that you could be with us to help celebrate Sun and Fun's 41st year. And thank you for joining us. And those of us out there, our listeners and viewers, we also thank you to join us, and we will see you next time.